in it. All they had was perhaps a bit of flour and a bit of water, and it was loosely grained up, so it wasn't milled very well, and you would just sit on it, probably gnawing on like a goat. It doesn't matter, it was good, and it made you healthy, and that's the sort of bread they used to eat. But all of the foods, I don't know, do we have to start eating locusts? Maybe you go down to Big Macs and say, I'll have a Big Mac and locusts on the side, I don't know. But I don't know. But anyway, it's all in the Bible, and all this stuff is good. I want to talk about my testimony with you if I can. Firstly, I want to say this. Have anyone ever heard of the BMI? It's a body mass index, right? Underweight. If you're underweight, Brother Henry, you might be there. You're 20. Alright? I'll have to check you out. 20. If you're normal, according to this, you would be from 20 to 24. If you're overweight, your body mass index would be from 20 to a 29.9. If you're obese, your body mass is 30 and over. Alright? 30 and over. I am, as of this morning, 34.4, which makes me obese. You're looking at me? Makes me obese. I want to share my testimony with you to help you to realise why I've come to where I've come today. At the family camp in 2007, was a Friday night. I'd worked very hard leading up to that particular camp, as I normally do, lots to do. And I was getting ready over in the supervisor's hut to come over to the meeting. And what happened was, I took a turn that I've never taken before in my life. My chest was just about leaping. My heart was just about leaping out of my chest. And the beat of my heart was incredibly erratic, and I felt very, very ill, tremendously ill, to the point where I thought that I was going to have a heart attack there tonight. I didn't tell my dear wife because I didn't want to alarm her, but I just stuck back to the cabin and got in that very uncomfortable bed, and you know, had boots down the middle, and I just lay there. My breathing became very erratic, and I just prayed to God that if it was my time to go, that He would look after my wife in the church. And I really thought that I was going to die that night. It was really bad. And I just asked the Lord, you know, I think that I would die bravely, but if I was to outlive my wife, I would be a coward. I don't think I can live without my wife, you know. But I believe that I can die bravely. I think I can do that. I think my faith is strong enough for me when the day comes to face that with a hope and an expectation that would take away the fear. But to survive my wife, I don't know how I would go. I don't know. But that night I really thought that I was going to die. I asked the Lord if I could just go to sleep because it was just too uncomfortable. I didn't have a very good night at all. I kept waking up, of course, in this incredible sickness. And so the next morning it was meeting time, and I just made myself get dressed and still didn't say nothing to my wife about what was happening. But the symptoms had decreased a little bit, and so I went over to church and I was preaching that morning, and just thought, oh, I'm going to preach, and I dropped dead. Well, I dropped dead doing God's work. That suits me just fine. I don't mind that. That's a good thing for me. And so I went over there with that expectation that maybe the excitement of preaching may bring the final blow. But I got strength that morning, marvellous strength that morning, was able to go through the whole camp pretty well, putting up with the symptoms. My blood pressure was found when I went to the hospital the next week to be regularly over 180 over 20, 120. That was regularly where my blood pressure was. Every time I went to the doctors, they found extreme blood pressure levels. My blood sugar levels have been commonly over 20, never been in control. I've been a type 2 diabetic for over 10 years, and I've endured diabetic events well over 30s and still had to go to work, where most people find themselves in hospital when they're 20. I was told by a doctor that my metabolism is like a tank. I'm built like a tank, but even tanks can take a blow, you see, and stop, you see. And so my body was running down at a great rate of knots. After enduring the Townsville Medical Centre up there at the hospital, my weight kept going through the roof. In 12 months, I was a big bloke anyway, but I got down to 100 kilos and I went up to over 109 kilos. This shirt is actually a shirt that I had to buy recently that is a size up than my normal size that I've had for many years. And that really affected me too, having to buy bigger shirts so that I could fit my body mass into that. And my weight was going up. I couldn't control my weight. They put me on all sorts of medicines that I felt were really starting to affect me. I was diagnosed with what's called an ectopic heartbeat and a static right artery. Now all that means, the jargon is that because of my blood pressure, my beat of my heart is not regular, so it, as the blood pressure builds up, my heart starts to beat erratically, and it's a terrible feeling. But also the static right artery means that I have an artery now, hasn't always been like that, but today I have an artery which is 4 times bigger on the right side than on the left side. And that's been expanded because of excessive blood pressure. And so what it did was, if you've ever seen a hose that's been left on with the water turned off and the hose expands, have you ever seen that? Well, that's what's happened to the right side of my heart. I now take 10 pills a day, 5 in the morning and 5 at night, for various things that, and if I don't take them, I tried a couple of months ago to stop taking one of them, and I became very ill for a couple of days and realised that I have to take these pills. And if I don't take these pills, I know that I'm going to head down the track of probably having a major heart attack and dying. And so my whole life has changed. My personal life has changed, my ability to do things has changed, my stamina has dramatically increased. Some days I come here to church and I can barely stand in the corner because of how I'm feeling. I am just so sick all the time, and it's been like that for well over 12 months. My blood pressure today is now 130 over 80. I have no heart problems. I've lost about 5 kilos in weight in the last few weeks and it's falling. I now exercise 3 times a day for 1 hour a day. My plan is to lose 20 kilos and to take no more pills ever again. I want to ask the church today, what about you? Now what about you today, church? Now what we've got to understand is that if I had kept living the way I was living, then I know that I wouldn't be here to see my grandchildren grow older. I know that I wouldn't have been here. I was a candidate to drop dead, I suppose, in the next few years. And I'm 54 years of age now, and you know, I would have been dead before 60. My mother died of emphysema, and it was a shocking death. I'll just let you know about that. When she died, thank God I was there with her when she died, the night that she died.